There is a secret that every creative person, every entrepreneur, and every dreamer knows, but rarely speaks aloud. It is the feeling that there is an active, intelligent force working against you. You sit down to write the book, and suddenly you are overwhelmed by a fatigue so heavy it feels like sedation. You decide to launch the business, and suddenly you are paralyzed by a fear of failure so intense it manifests as physical sickness. You commit to the gym, and the next morning you wake up with a mysterious flu.
Most of us have two lives: the life we live and the unlived life within us. Between the two stands the resistance. It is the most toxic force on the planet. It is the root of more unhappiness than poverty, disease, and erectile dysfunction combined. To yield to resistance is to deform your spirit. It is to stunt your growth and kill your soul while your body is still breathing.
The author Steven Pressfield named this enemy. He taught us that resistance is not a symptom, it is not a habit, it is a sentient force. It has one goal: to stop you from doing your work, to stop you from becoming who you were born to be. It does not want you to be healthy. It does not want you to be creative. It wants you to be a generic, obedient, sleeping drone. In this video, we will declare war. We will analyze the biology of self-sabotage, the lizard brain. We will expose the shadow life of addiction and drama. And we will show you how to turn pro, to stop being an amateur, and start killing the dragon every single morning. Welcome to Umbra Decode. The war begins now. The first rule of war is know your enemy. Resistance is an energy field. It is internal, but it feels external. It is the force that acts against human evolution. Every time you try to move from a lower level to a higher level, morally, ethically, creatively, resistance appears.
Resistance has specific characteristics you must learn to spot. 1. It is infallible. Like a compass needle pointing north, resistance always points to true north. Which activity are you most afraid of doing? That is the activity you must do. Resistance is a feedback mechanism. It only opposes things that matter. You do not feel resistance to watching TV. You do not feel resistance to eating donuts. You feel resistance to the things that will save you. Therefore, fear is an indicator of importance.
2. It is a master rationalizer. Resistance is intelligent. It knows you are smart, so it doesn't use brute force. It uses logic. It doesn't tell you you are never going to write that symphony. That would be too obvious. You would fight back against that. Instead, it says, you can write the symphony, just not today. Do it tomorrow. You need to research first. You need a better desk first. You need to clean the kitchen first. It doesn't deal in never. It deals in later. And later is the deadliest word in the human language. Later is where dreams go to die.
3. It is protean. It changes shape. If you defeat procrastination, resistance will morph into perfectionism. If you defeat perfectionism, it will morph into imposter syndrome. If you defeat imposter syndrome, it will morph into actual physical illness. It will do anything to stop you from sitting in the chair.
Where does this force come from? Is it a demon? Is it Satan? No, it is biology. It is the amygdala, the lizard brain. The lizard brain cares about one thing: survival. To the lizard brain, survival means staying in the tribe. It means staying safe. It means being the same as everyone else. Any act of creativity, leadership, or growth is an act of separation. When you write a book, or start a company, or get in shape, you are leaving the herd. You are becoming an individual. To the lizard brain, this is a death sentence. It screams, if you stand out, the predator will see you. If you succeed, the tribe will envy you and exile you. Resistance is your ancient survival instinct trying to save you from the danger of being great. It is a misplaced protection mechanism. This is why you self-sabotage right before the finish line. You're about to ship the product, you're about to sign the deal, and suddenly you panic, you pick a fight, you get drunk, you destroy it. Why? Because finishing means you have changed. Finishing means you are exposed, and the lizard brain hates exposure. Self-sabotage is a misguided attempt at safety. What happens if you lose the war? What happens if you yield to resistance day after day? You don't just sit still. The energy of your potential has to go somewhere. If it cannot become creation, it becomes destruction. You live a shadow life. Addiction is a symptom of resistance. You numb yourself because the pain of not doing your work is too great to bear. Drama is a symptom of resistance. If you're addicted to trouble, if your relationship is a soap opera, if your family is a war zone, ask yourself, what work are you avoiding? Drama is a drug. It gives you a fake sense of significance. It allows you to say, I can't write my book today. My life is too crazy. The craziness is a defense mechanism. You created the storm so you wouldn't have to sail the ship. Criticism is a symptom of resistance. This is the most reliable indicator. If you find yourself tearing down others, mocking the successful, judging the creators, leaving hateful comments, it is because you are looking at what you should be doing. A working artist never criticizes a beginner. Only a failed artist does. Cynicism is the mask of a disappointed idealist. The cynic is just a dreamer who is too afraid to try. How do you defeat resistance? There is only one way. You must turn pro. Aspiring artists, entrepreneurs, and dreamers are amateurs. The amateur waits for inspiration. The amateur works only when the conditions are perfect. The amateur identifies with their failure. The amateur plays for the love of the game, which means he plays for fun. But war is not fun. The pro treats their art or business like a blue-collar job. Does the garbage collector wait for inspiration to pick up the trash? No, he just does it. Does the surgeon wait until he feels like it to operate? No, he scrubs in. Somerset Maugham was asked if he wrote on a schedule or only when struck by inspiration. He said, I write only when inspiration strikes. Fortunately, it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock sharp. The pro separates their ego from the work. If the work fails, the pro does not say, I am a failure. He says, that attempt failed. He has emotional detachment. Video 18. The amateur takes rejection personally because his art is his validation. The pro takes rejection as data because his art is his job. To defeat resistance, you must stop romanticizing your dream and start laboring for it. You show up, you do the work, you go home, you do it again tomorrow. The pro separates their ego from the work. If the work fails, the pro does not say, I am a failure. He says, that attempt failed. He has emotional detachment. Video 18. The amateur takes rejection personally because his art is his validation. The pro takes rejection as data because his art is his job. To defeat resistance, you must stop romanticizing your dream and start laboring for it. You show up, you do the work, you go home, you do it again tomorrow. The tactical secret is start before you are ready. Do not wait for the fear to go away. The fear will never go away. The warrior and the artist are always afraid. The difference is that they act anyway. Sit down, open the laptop, pick up the weight. The moment you take the first action, you trigger a magical force. When you sit down and face the dragon day after day, something shifts. Ideas appear out of nowhere. Coincidences happen. The work becomes easy. Resistance hates discipline. Resistance hates the pro. If you show up every day, resistance eventually gets bored and leaves you alone. But you must pay the entrance fee. The fee is sweat. You must overcome the initial inertia. This battle is not a one-time event. You do not kill the dragon once and live happily ever after. You have to kill it every single morning. Every day you wake up, resistance is waiting for you. It is waiting in your phone. It is waiting in your doubt. It is waiting in your comfort zone.
But now you know its name. Now you know its tactics. Your potential is trapped behind a wall of fear. Break the wall. Do the work. Not for the money, not for the fame, but because if you don't, you will die with your song still inside you, and that is a fate worse than death.
To arm yourself for the war of art, subscribe to Umbra Decode. The enemy is listening. Get back to work.